So apparently the so-called most tolerant among us, at least that's what they love to tell us anyhow, they have decided they're going to cancel Chris Pratt because they just found out who he politically supports. When I talk about people too, I'm not talking about ordinary individuals, although they love to get in the fray as well. I'm talking about people like Amy Berg, for example, who is a quote-unquote TV boss, a movie scribe, a nerd vivant, who currently is writing Warrior Nun, Alienist, Jack Ryan, etc. That's what her description says. You also have this other person saying goodbye, Chris Pratt. This is a host on NBC. This is a political analyst on MSNBC because they're so tolerant, they're so forgiving that even the very idea of somebody stepping out of line, it can't be tolerated in Hollywood. Now, what's very telling about this kind of stuff, too, is the unabashed hatred that comes with it. And you see this spelled out here by this account. It's amazing how we immediately almost hate people who are this specific type of supporter. As an Obama supporter, I didn't even mildly dislike a McCain supporter, being able to understand their reasons and enjoying having friendly discussions about the candidates. But this other guy here, it's so yucky. Now that, I tell you, it pisses me off. And if you think that sounds like Trump support to you, you need to go back and you need to reflect on your life a little bit, because it should just be common sense. Hating people, trying to cancel people because they think different than you, that says a lot more about you than it ever will say about them. So hey there. So today we return to that wonderful, wonderful world of social media. I hope you catch the sarcasm in that for an impromptu video where I found this subject trending. You can see it here in that. It has 64.4K tweets going on and a lot more people adding to it. And I found this to be, repugnant considering how this subject came up. See, what's perturbing about this is that Chris Pratt, he wasn't part of some PSA. He didn't look down his nose like most of the Hollywood elite do when they tell you how you should think and feel. No, they were getting together. The Avengers cast assembles for a Joe Biden fundraiser, and people started talking about names that were conspicuously absent from this. When that discussion came up, you had Chris Pratt's name come up, and they decided they would start dumping on him, and they would start dumping on him hardcore. Here's one of those posts about this subject as well. Chris Pratt hopes no one will notice his absence here. You can see that article. It's linked there, and you'll notice how much attention that it gets. 44.4K likes. So you're talking about almost 45,000 likes, 5,000 retweets, and 154 quote tweets. But he's not an Avengers from the article. Again, people are pointing him out specifically because he's not there. And then this statement. I think this statement is really telling, but I'll tell you why I think this is telling, and it's not for what they say. You'll have a tweet go viral, and it's going to be a tossed-off tweet involving politics and Marvel, and bring a lot of weirdly angry people into your mentions is a real 2020 move for me. Now, what I think is a real 2020 move is this intolerance. There is no live and let live. Basically, people have bought into the idea that if you do X, then you're an ist, you're a phobe. I'm going to punch an N to the A to the Z to the I. And you know who that N to the A to the Z to the I is? Anyone we decide that is. And that is ugly. Again, this was the lack of political involvement that caused this. Not because someone was pushing stuff down your throat. Oh no, it's the opposite of that. But hey, in opposite land here, that stuff, apparently it's A-okay. This stuff, it goes much further than that, too. Apparently, if you follow the wrong person on Twitter, apparently that means you need to be canceled as well. You see somebody bringing up Chris Pratt following the wrong person here in the form of Ben Shapiro. Y'all, Chris Pratt follows Ben Shapiro. What is not clicking? And you have that all in caps, by the way, because, oh my God, it has to come up, and it has to come up right now. Oh yeah, very telling, isn't it? You have another person bringing it up here, too. Are people really just finding out Chris Pratt is a Republican, considering he's been following Ben Shapiro and Dan Crenshaw for a while? Yes, people are just now following, and the answer to that is yes. People are just now finding out about it. And you know what? That could be one of two things. Number one, he may not want this to go public because he may not want to talk about that. He may not want to divide audiences. He may actually respect your dollar, and God forbid that come up. Or number two, he knows how people act. He knows how people associate in Hollywood, and he knows this too. He knows that you can cancel certain people with impunity. That stuff, it's actually embraced. It will actually be met with applause. It's not discrimination after all. This kind of divisive rhetoric, it opens up everything, and I mean everything, for attack. You look at this here. Here's yet another blue check mark piling on to the same statements I showed you before. You have 50,000 people that are down with that, by the way, and you have stuff like this brought up, which this is a statement about the birth of his child, and they decide that it's not good enough either. You have 5,000 people that decide to pile on to it too, because, oh my God, he has faith in his life, and that's not a good thing. Goodbye, Chris Pratt, who left his wife when he got more famous than her. He's a massive hypocrite for divorcing and remarrying, and who literally speaks as though he is a commander in Galilee. Shudders. Here's his statement, too. We are beyond thrilled to announce the birth of our daughter. To give the daughter's name, couldn't be happier. Both mom and baby are doing great. We are extremely blessed. Love, and gives the names there. And you see these two statements. The Lord has done great things for us. We are filled with joy. Oh my God, that's too much to say. We have had great things going on in our lives. We are filled with joy. Can't have that. Got to cancel somebody over that. And here's another one. Behold, children are the heritage of the Lord. The fruit of the womb a reward. Like arrows in the hand of a warrior are the children of one's youth. Blessed is the man who fills his quiver with them. He shall not be put to shame when he speaks with his enemies in the gate. Oh my God, what a terrible, terrible thing to say too. They're our heritage. They are the fruit of the womb. They are a reward in that. What a terrible thing. And you know what? What's funny about this person too? They say, oh, I retract my statement about that marriage. I didn't get it right, but I stand by the fact that his choices of verses are creepy, and I say that as a practicing Catholic. Yeah, I doubt that. I doubt that big time. But if you are, well, that showcases just how biased you are in this stuff, because you decided to attack a man over being proud of his children. That's disgusting to me. And this stuff, it is just the tip of the proverbial iceberg. As it goes on and on and on and on. The Daily Wire, they capture quite a few statements there too. Like this one, for example. Now, some people have said that this is a parody account. I want to ask you, how do you tell parody accounts apart from the real one these days? Because I personally can't. But this account, it says that Chris Pratt's bio, it radiates phobic, white, Christian supremacist energy. And you have him called that a lot. You have him called phobic. You have him called a supremacist. You have him called all kinds of nasty things that are indeed meant to cancel people in this day and age. I mean, if you associate them, that is not criticism. That is cancellation. But of course, these folks, they outright deny that. Here's yet another blue check mark telling us that. Talking bleep about someone on the internet isn't canceling them. And that's right. If you're just talking crap about a person, you're not trying to cancel him. But when you're saying he needs to go, he needs to be fired, he is anti-this, he is basically a supremacist and on, that is meant to get somebody canned. Chris Pratt, he's not being fired from Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because he didn't go to a Biden fundraiser. And defending two millionaires might not be the right time to lecture others about fighting for the poor. So, he's talking about here, too, talking about Ice Cube and talking about Chris Pratt. And it's fascinating that's defending millionaires, but people going out of their way to bury someone else because they don't support a candidate in a game that costs billions to play, that somehow it's not the same thing. I mean, I swear these people, blue check marks, they will do anything to bury someone's life, only to go out and to say, yeah, that's not what we originally intended to do. One of them's got to go, after all. But yeah, that's not about canceling them. Oh no, that's not about canceling them at all. But anyway, let me know what you think about this. And I do always find it fascinating that there are some people that want to frame this thing as support for a candidate. Oh, you're talking about this, therefore you must support that. No, what I support is not dividing your audiences. I support people not looking down their nose at me and having somebody actually do that, only to find them getting canceled because of wrongthink anyhow. That, I find it absolutely repugnant. But anyway, let me know what you think about this stuff. Again, as always, you make this stuff work out too. So thank you for showing up. You know, too many people forget who exactly makes these things possible. So thank you. Appreciate you. Want to help out the channel as well. There are links in the description. We have membership. We have Patreon. We also have our comic book. It could use help as well because, oh my God, not wanting to discriminate, that means that places like the comic press, they want to discriminate against you. But anyway, I'll leave it at that. Again, check out those things and thank you.